Some fields are pretty clever with how they maximize making profit with their space, like Miami Airsoft. You know, they do non-airsoft things there too.
Yeah.
You know.
Yes,
I have to bleep that one in a minute.
Yeah. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that everything boils down to money. It just does.
Yeah.
You know, DM Grimnir and say why.
Yeah.
Come back.
Comment or DM on Grimnir Tactical's Instagram and YouTube and ask them why and tell them you want them back.
Oh, you're famous.
Oh, man.
We got to talk about this.
Do we want to talk about
that?
that?
We have to talk about it.
There is now a screenshot of my face associated to some drama.
Even though there were screenshots of the post and then it got taken down. So to me, that's like, Josh, you could be so right on this. You'd be so right if you said like, yeah, it did happen. It was against the rules. That player's banned.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Zulu 24 podcast. As always, I'm joined with Anthony from Antec Airsoft Studios and Jordan from Zulu Outdoor. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. I remembered to press record.
Hey.
Happy New Year.
Hey, New Year, new you.
Yeah. New Year, not making the same mistake twice.
Yeah. So this episode's going to be pretty, shut your phone off.
Yep. After I turned the phone off.
Jesus.
I'm still getting back into the swing of
Amateur hour.
I will say, I did want to make one joke about myself. What are we on, episode like 27? And this is the first time that I forgot to hit record? Or last episode?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You build 100 bridges, Jordan.
Yeah, I know.
You're a bridge builder.
Yeah. You're first 5 minutes.
Yeah, to bleep.
Yep. Yeah, anyone that knows the bridge joke is going to know exactly what Anthony just said.
Yeah. So yeah, basically on this episode, we're just going to run down the year and kind of look at it with a critical eye and see what was good, what was bad.
We did do this last year.
We did. What was ugly and how tourniquets are pay to win.
I also think we could talk about some of the most common complaints we heard
Ooh, let's do
about the field. And I'll tell you one that I heard, not just from random people online, but also staff.
Well, how do we want to go full
It's always
on?
for me.
Yeah.
For the structure of this, do we want to do it like how we did last year where we went event by event?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't remember the full schedule, so we're going to be
Hold up.
cognitively braining this out, but I do remember the first event was the Zulu 24 anniversary, which actually this year's is on January 8th. I don't know if this episode will be out. 18th, sorry,
Yes, it will be
18th.
out.
Will this episode be out by the 18th?
Yes, it will be.
It will be?
All right, so January 18th, come on out. It's also our winter flea market. Buy, sell, trade is always free. You only pay if you want to play. Everybody gets a discounted entry. We get raffle tickets, which actually just shipped yesterday, so...
Raffle tickets or the scratch?
I'm sorry, scratch-offs.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, so we'll have those. If you have the original Zulu patch, which we're not going to post a picture of, you get in for free. And military always gets in for free. Everybody gets free pizza. Man, my brain is not.
This will definitely be out before the anniversary, right? So can I throw something in for Antec?
Well, hold on. I want to cover one base for context. When you say military always plays for free, you're talking
Sorry, for the anniversary.
or the anniversary game.
Military always plays for free.
Wait, multicam is banned?
Tourniquets are pay to win?
Yeah. Go ahead, Ant.
Yeah, so Antec will be open. Anybody that plays at the field locally knows I've been gone. I've been getting a lot of questions and stuff like, where am I? When will I be back? So I will be officially back to normal operations. You'll see me every weekend starting the 18th, the anniversary. So basically, there's going to be hundreds of people there. So there might be a huge line of people there that need some quick on-site tech work or opinions on things, or just people coming to my window asking where to get rentals, because that happens. You can make an appointment. If you're watching this before the anniversary, it's not too late. Email me at anthony@antecairsoft.com. Let me know you're going to be there at the anniversary. And if you want to make an appointment for me to look at your gun and do that, it'll allow you to cut the line. And you line waiters, don't worry. I have a high confidence I will have help in the shop for the anniversary. I did just take on 2 new techs. So hopefully that will free me up a little bit and help us get more things done and serve you guys more.
You got Alex and Hunter, right?
Yep, Alex and Hunter.
Yeah. I'm going to bully Alex a little bit later. He's working on my Jeep tonight.
Yeah. Hunter is very enthusiastic about it. And so is Alex, to be honest. It's going to be cool. Like, it's going to be interesting because, like, I've worked with Alex And now it's like he knows how to do a lot of teching stuff, but just for the sake of standardizing things and like how certain things get done, it's like I'm not like teaching him. It's
No,
like
you're
I'm just training him on how the procedure. Like we're making the SOP for how things get done.
Yeah,
with him, So that's going to be pretty cool. And he's so even keeled with his temper and how he can deal with people. I actually think he's perfect for answering people's questions when they have tech questions, because he's just.
Oh, I've seen it because he works in the shop too, and he's super patient with customers. Like, there are certain times where my brain's just fried and I have to like pass off a customer. And if I ever hand it to Alex, I'm just like, I know he's gonna do right with this.
Yeah.
Even if they ask a million questions, he doesn't get annoyed. He's just super even keeled about it. He's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. You do not have a bad pick there.
Yeah. And then Hunter is just enthusiastic. He's just like, oh, if you get like a weird gun in, you mind if I watch you work on it? Like he wants to tinker with weird stuff, which is cool. So it'll be nice. And basically, for on-site work on weekends, starting from the anniversary onward for 2025, there should be more than one tech available for on-site work. So the idea is, one of the biggest complaints I have this year and the previous years is that I take too long to do things, and that's because I'm one dude. So with more dudes, we should be able to get things done quicker and even have like a secondary queue. Whatever builds the other techs are comfortable doing, if you just want like an F2 in an M4 and it's a pretty straightforward build and it's one they've done a bunch of times, why wait months to have me do it specifically if there's nothing too special or unique about the build, and just have them do it? Same quality build, get it done quicker. So looking forward to that. So that's my piece. That's my piece for the anniversary game.
Yes, let's not turn this into a tech podcast again.
So last year's anniversary, what do we think, guys? What do we think? What do we do?
I think
what
that was
better.
That was
from last
wild.
year's anniversary.
Yeah,
last year's anniversary was so packed full of people. I think you can open registration even earlier.
That was my one critique, and we already addressed that. I think you said we're opening at 8.
I think encourage people to camp the night before.
Oh, dude, they can.
Eric Colton's whole group is doing that.
Yeah,
I think staff's going to be there at 7:30, and as soon as we get there, it's open. So
yeah, and I'm pretty sure you did this last year too, but because the line is so long, and by the time you get to like 10 a.m., there will be probably hundreds of people registered.
Sure.
Yeah.
And just getting a game rolled out for those guys while the other people.
That's why we have to have six.
Yeah. So we kind of.
It's like almost for that first game, you have to not let players walk on.
Correct.
Because it's just an influx of people registering and trying to get on.
That's why. So like to prepare a little bit for that, that was why I brought up the whole 8 a.m. thing. But even then, Dylan and I went so far. Like we already have the game schedule for the anniversary game made. Like that's it. So we could prep the props if we're going to even use them, like the Sunday before. That way it's not walking into the anniversary game going, shit, what games are we playing today? Dylan and I went through and made sure, because he's reffing and I'm going to be doing photos and videos. Like these are the games. These are set because we know exactly how long they run. They're all big games. We know there's going to be a lot of people. It makes it easier. Because it takes one thing out of the equation for the staff that day.
Yeah.
I mean, overall last year, that was awesome.
I feel like last year went pretty smooth. The year before that is when we had like 500 people and the line went all the way to the fucking shop. We just kind of did our best.
I'd say my word of advice for people is you basically are picking. There's 3 flavors and 2 of them are better, right? The bad flavor is the one in the middle where you just get in the middle of the line. You don't have too much time prior to getting in the line to get your stuff ready, and then you don't have too much time after getting off the line for the game start for you to get your stuff ready. I'd say it's best to either be super early, just get online, get registered so that you can get your gear ready, go get some empanadas, get your rentals, go to the tech window, whatever, or do all that stuff first and just understand that you'll probably be the last person in the line, or you'll be among the last people in the line.
Yeah.
Well, I think the big thing is just being efficient. So like, I know you guys did it last year too. As soon as registration opens, Chrono's also open so that people can get through it.
Oh yeah.
Same thing with
like, hit the ground running.
Leading up to it. Like I've already put out it once. Hey, fill out your waiver because it's the beginning of the year. And how many people are going to walk up to that front registration line and be like, hey, I'm here to check in, and their waivers from last year because they didn't fill one out.
I'm going to print out more QR codes.
Yeah.
And I'm going to put them on the like the shed.
That's smart.
And basically everywhere. That's like, here, fill out your fucking waiver.
Yeah. Can I pitch a suggestion?
No.
In case because I like to help, and it might work. There's a reason why like I don't do this during like normal open plays, but like I'll chrono guns for tech purposes, but I won't issue chrono tags. For the anniversary, would you like us to help with that, even if we're over at the chrono station?
No, I'm a control freak.
Okay.
And the only way to guarantee safety is to be in charge of the safety part.
Yeah.
And that is the safety part.
Yeah.
We'll be fine.
That's understandable. Yeah.
We'll be fine. It'll just take a little bit longer and it's fine. We'll power through it.
Yeah,
but we have to be thorough in that one.
Last year, the chrono line wasn't crazy long. Like anytime I walked past it, it wasn't like out the door across the AstroTurf. Yeah. The line for registration was, but like that's expected, which is why like the way you can cut down on that is making sure you have your waiver filled out now, so you don't have to get all the way to the front of the line to then step off to the side, scan the QR code. Because we saw this at another game this year that was here where people were like, "Oh, I don't have a waiver." Like scan the QR code. Now they're standing there. It turns into a big gaggle.
Yeah,
fill out the waiver now, and you'll be fine. It'll just be a one streamlined process. Like
they can still fill out the waiver online, right?
Yeah, 100%.
You hear that, folks? If you sign the waiver online, it's 2025, so new calendar year.
It's good for one whole year.
New waiver. I have to do a waiver.
Yep. Zulu24.square.site. Fill out your waiver. Also, check out our merch. It's over there.
Yeah, more t-shirts were added.
Yeah, man.
I like them. Yeah, because I went to
Zulu t-shirts are pay to win.
Yeah. I went to upload the waiver short and I was like, wait a minute. I uploaded this last year and then somebody texted me and said the waiver was from the year prior. I looked at it. I was like, hey, Dave, you got to update the waiver.
Dude, I always forget that.
But yeah, if you do your waivers now, because if you do them now, you're good for one entire year. It doesn't matter if you're coming for an event. It doesn't matter if you're coming for open play. If you do it right now, your waiver is good till 2026.
Hell yeah.
2025. Jesus, we're in the future, dude.
Yeah.
2025.
Remember when the world was going to end in 2020 and then 2016?
Yeah.
And then 2012?
Yeah, 2012 is a good one.
Yeah.
Because they made that movie and everything.
And then 2000.
Before we move on from the anniversary game, do we want to talk anything about raffle prizes for this year's anniversary game?
I don't even remember what the raffle prizes were.
I was more gearing towards some of the stuff that wasn't ordered through me, like the scratch offs and stuff. Do we want to talk about that?
Oh, yeah.
Do you want to explain it?
Yeah, it's a scratch off. I don't know how much.
No, I was talking about. I'll probably cut this section out. The one that has the really cool prize on it.
Oh, there's three. I think I did three. So 3 of the scratch offs, and also I just want to throw this out here. The scratch off company, because they're part of like that industry. They're part of like the lottery and stuff like that. There's 2 options. There's an option where they can put them in order so that I know which ones are the winners. And then there's like the appropriate one where it's like they do it random. I don't see them. I can't see them once they're made. So I don't know. I don't know what the winners are. I don't know what the losers are. I don't know anything about it. Like
that's the one you picked.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Like, so I just want to throw that out there because I feel like that's important. But 3 of them are free open play for all of 2025.
That's so cool.
There's also a couple more for
Eric Colton's going to win that one.
Dude, we go out of business.
I hope some like 14-year-old kid that can't play every weekend but wants to because like his parents still pay for him to play. Like that's who I want to win.
That's the hope. That's
There's 3 of them.
I was actually considering doing a raffle prize. The only way I'd be able to do like a nice raffle prize and not like $10 off an R-Hop, some bullshit like that. I won't have it tangibly there, but it would basically be a redemption card for a pre-build.
That's dope.
So they choose to redeem it, and now it's like now they get a build to order. And if I do that, I get to actually give them the full thing, consult with them. What do they want?
Yeah.
Within reason. It's not going to be like a fucking PKM. It'll be like,
well, just put a top in dollar amount.
I like the scratch offs because like for context, last year, like some people got their scratch offs and are like, oh, whatever, it's a scratch off. Like, no, use it. Like actually go find a quarter and scratch that thing off because there is a possibility of you winning free admission for an entire year.
Are you doing the bingo card?
No.
No, we didn't do bingo on the anniversary last year. We did bingo separate.
I got a bunch of zip ties the year that you did it. I want to bring it back. I got a bunch of free zip ties. One of the bingo checks was give Antec a zip tie, and there were people that just went out to Walmart and just got a whole pack for like $5 and gave me a whole pack of zip ties. I still have those zip ties. A lot of zip ties.
Yeah, no, there's a bunch of other prizes in there too. Free BBs and grenades and shirts and I don't remember what else. 10, 20% off type stuff. And then we have the raffle, the actual raffle, which I don't remember.
I remember those.
Yeah.
So from you, we got a Zenico AK, a Mark 12 with a short dot on it, a full plate carrier setup, a full battle belt setup, 2 Elite Force 1911s. Am I missing one?
Did we do a helmet?
We did an M-Tech Flux.
Yeah, an M-Tech Flux. That's right.
Yeah, because I ordered that the other day. Then from the shop, I've got a bunch of stuff coming from PTS. Amped Airsoft sending over something. I decided last minute that we are going to, because I talked to Tom already, they are more than down to come back for night games this year.
Oh, right on.
To do night vision rentals. So I'm going to raffle off, similar to what Anthony said. I'm going to pay for 2 customers to have night vision rentals for any of the night games this year. You can have single tubes, dual tubes. You're probably going to want duals, but yeah, that's going to be the jam because we know players like night games and night vision's expensive. So give someone the experience they may not be able to afford to begin with. So for a night game this year, there's going to be 2 people where we get them night vision rentals.
Dope. I always maintain that if I didn't own an airsoft field, I wouldn't have night vision. I would just rent every time I went.
Well,
I go to like 2 games a year. So
somebody said that to me like earlier last year. It's cool to give someone an experience as opposed to a gift. And that kind of stuck with me. So like this year for Christmas, a lot of people close to me, I gave them experiences as opposed to like tangible gifts. And
blowjobs, I remember.
Yeah. And that's like a really sappy story, like whole 9. But either way, I thought it'd be cool because the amount of times we hear people say that, like, oh, that's really dope, but like still $150 to rent night vision for a night game. Yeah, we'll cover it. 2 people are going to get night vision rentals.
That's awesome.
Hell yeah.
Antech's not going to do shit. He's got no raffle prizes.
Plus a whole big restock on the store. I just got done ordering everything for next week. It gives us 2 weeks to get product here. So cases are going to be filled. The shelves are going to be stocked. It's going to be awesome.
Good.
Yeah.
What was next? Oh,
after that was Gun Gamers.
Gun Gamers, Remnant. Yeah. These guys prayed for snow.
And didn't get it.
Both times. Yeah, and they didn't get it. I think their first game they did.
There was some snow on the ground, but it was like a week old snow.
Yeah.
You mean attrition?
Attrition.
Yeah.
Attrition was like -2 degrees in the morning or some shit.
Yeah.
It was fun. Like, I think attrition went perfectly as far as how much the weather sucked.
Yeah.
It was exactly the point of the game. The whole point of the game was for it to suck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to not quit.
In 2024, it was called Remnant.
Yeah, Remnant. Gun Gamers does a great job, man. I don't play those games just because I feel like because of my field knowledge that I can have an impact on the game. And I don't want to do that. And plus, it's in the wintertime and I get fat and lazy in the wintertime.
You and I were talking about that last weekend because I said, like, I would love, I don't know why, this is just in my brain. I would want to do like a 12 or 24-hour game for Gun Gamers specifically at EMR with like 6 to 12 inches of snow on the ground.
Yeah.
I liked EMR as a field, and I think Gun Gamers would do really well there. And I like the idea of playing that field in the middle of the winter with all the snow on the ground.
Yeah. And they're good. They're actually like professional people.
Yeah.
And, their events in the past have like gone into the night and everything. And I've told Eric this, like I felt completely comfortable going home for the night, having them still be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Eric has a good natural talent for like leading groups of people.
Sure.
So he's very good at running games.
We got to get him back on the podcast soon.
He wants to. So they are doing another event. I won't say too much about it because I don't know if they've announced it yet.
They have not. I've been keeping an eye on it.
And we'll get him back on here for that.
Yeah.
So yeah, Gun Gamers, Remnant, thumbs up for me.
Yeah. I didn't play it either. Same logic as Dave. It's cold. I know the entire field. I didn't want to play.
Yeah.
Every time I talk to Kyle and Eric, they get mad at me. They're like, you got to play a Gun Gamers game. I'm like, I will go to one that's not here.
I played attrition. I had a really good time with that one. Although that was 2 years ago.
That was 2 years.
There you go.
After Gun Gamers, the next event we had was the Spring Flea Market. That was April 13th and 14th.
It's a flea market.
Yeah, it's a flea market.
Buy, sell, trade.
Followed up by the first night game, which was April 20th. That was a no nods night game.
Yeah.
That went pretty well. After that, we had May 4th, KWA Tactical League Conquest. I refed that. That was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, Conquest, that one. So, like, we've talked with Mike a lot. One of the things I told him in the beginning when they did their first event here in 2023 was that it was completely different for how open play ran here.
Yeah.
Like, he was doing like 30-minute games where like it was a mosque game and spawns were the outlier buildings essentially, not as far back as we do. And I was like, dude, this is like really small scale. And he's looking at me going, this is like the biggest field we've ever used.
Yeah.
So it was a learning curve for him and it was a learning curve for us. With Conquest, they just did 2 big games.
Yeah.
So like the game before lunch was essentially full field Conquest, but respawns were adjusted and they were using the skirmish system. Players actually liked it. It went really well. After lunch, they essentially did like a push game.
Yeah.
I remember them labeling it as more like a rush from Battlefield. So like push the objective, take the MCOMs, push to the next objective, take those objectives. And it went really well. The players that were there really liked it. What we noticed with KWA going through the year was that every time they do a game here, well, now they're just Tactical League.
That's right.
Yeah, now they're just Tactical League. At the beginning of the year, they were KWA Tactical League. Every time they do a game here, the player count goes up by like 20 to 30%.
Yeah.
So like the first time they did the game here when it was like Wildlands and it was in the rain, they only had like 50 players. Conquest, there was like 120. Then the game they did later in the year, they had almost 200 players or something like that.
Yeah.
Every time they come here, we see an increase in the amount of players. So people clearly like it. We'll get to the later on game. But yeah, overall, I thought Conquest went really well.
Good. I didn't play it again.
Yeah.
I didn't play it.
After that, this one's right up your alley. You're probably going to have a lot to say about this one. May 18th, Operation Blood Diamond.
Blood Diamond. Oh, Blood Diamond went so well this year.
Yeah.
Oh, it was good. I don't remember too much about it, to be honest with you.
But
I'll be having that.
You played that. Yeah, you both played that.
I did play that.
I'll be having that.
Yeah. Good. Shit, was I commanding or was I just playing? I was commanding.
Yeah, so you were tan team. And then I forgot who was the green team CO. And Will was the civilian faction.
He does such a great job. Will does an amazing job at leading that faction.
Man, who was green team?
I can't remember.
It wasn't Grimnir.
No. Max and Ian were busy this year.
That's right. I just know I was running around with my MP5, and I was.
Was it Rich? It wasn't
no,
Rich.
Rich was on tan. He was wearing Desert DPM running around with the MP5.
That's right.
Yeah, who was green team?
Oh, man.
Whoever it is, you're going to be really mad that we forgot who you were. I'm sorry.
Sorry, green team commander. Fuck, who was it?
Wow.
We'll never know.
I can go back in the photos and find it, but
It's lost in the annals of history.
I thought it went really well.
Yeah. No, Blood Diamond's a pretty simple game. We let that's right. We let Will and his faction run the mortar, so each team had to like go and buy mortar strikes from the indigenous
people
of Zulu.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I forgot. Ian was on tan team. Ian from Grimnir. He was here.
So maybe it was Max.
You know what? It might have been that they did the first game. They did. Ian and Max did green and tan team.
Okay.
Right. You were playing with them.
Yeah.
Because you and Ian were basically with each other the entire game. Right. Yeah, because that's Ian.
Yeah.
So if I search through there's probably a photo of Max as well. And then Will was the team CO for the civilian faction. Right, because they couldn't do it for Crossroads.
That's right. Also, shout out to Grimnir. Get off your asses and start making games again, goddammit. I want to go to a good fucking game.
Having them be COs was I do distinctly remember them being COs, so I guess I'm not crazy.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right, because then Ian raffled off, Ian and Max, there they are. Ian raffled off his Red King Blades knives.
Yep.
That's right.
I just remember it was very fun. Towards the end of the game, like the very end, when it was about to be called, it was just climatic. We were at Field Depot, and me and Rich both had our recoil MP5s, and we're just like, doing SMG class stuff.
I just remember.
SMG class, super, super fun.
Yeah.
Super fun.
Yeah, we haven't had too many problems with that either.
Well, we only use it like 3 times a year at most.
Yeah. That's all it needs.
When the gun's so underpowered.
Yeah.
And my mags are like 80 round mags, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Tactical League does interesting too. When they do their games, they have full auto SMGs, but it has to be gas blowback.
Yeah, I mean that
really limits it. Like they have a little bit of a higher FPS for it, But because it's a gas blowback, you also like at max have like 40 round mags because they have the no HPA tapped rule, so you can't even use like an adapter. It's kind of cool.
What was after Blood Diamond?
After Blood Diamond, well, night games and flea markets.
Yeah, because it was like the heat of the summer I left open.
The night games were really fun.
Night games are good this year. I had a great time with them.
Even the no nod.
Well, we only did one. We only did that first one.
Even that one. That was really...
No, we did two.
We did two?
Yeah, we did one in the middle of the summer that was no nods.
Okay.
I just remember it was like night games this year sucked for me because every time I went to record one, I either immediately got shot in the face or I wasn't here.
Nice.
I like had an event or something planned where I wasn't going to be here for it. So like I did not get as much night game content this year as I did last year.
Yeah. There was a couple where I was only able to get on towards the very end. And at that point, a lot of the guys with night vision left. There was that one game.
Oh, yeah.
There's that one game where you're like, Anthony, we should get off we should like leave. And I was like, we'd switch teams, right? To balance it.
Oh,
He's like,
that one.
It's like, we're the only ones with nods. I'm like, fuck.
I did get to play that one. That was like,
yeah, because you were opposite us.
Yeah, I was like, I feel like I hear Dave screaming my name, and I'm just like, no, that couldn't be it. And I'd hear it. I was like, that's definitely Dave yelling my name. Something must be wrong. I walk over, I was like, is everything okay? And you're like, yeah, let's get off the field.
I should have just lifted my nods up and just played without him.
No, because there was a skill gap there. We were not
adding to the game.
Yeah, we were not helping anybody on that field.
So after that, yeah, the schedule was pretty open all summer. Yeah. It was just night games and flea markets until we hit October. And when we hit October, we had Crossroads.
Oh, Crossroads is so good this year.
Crossroads was dope.
Crossroads was a lot of fun. The base building part got a little kind of misconstrued for the other team. My team, we built a base,
Yeah.
And I think I think the base building is a cool addition to the game. Right? It gives the props purpose.
Yeah, it's not just go grab this ammo can and bring it to your respawn and now you've gained a point. Like you have a tangible use for this prop.
Yeah.
And when I was looking back at gameplay footage from that, for like Milson Peanut and some other guys, like some of the highlights of those videos is when they were making big pushes to grab those pieces for their base.
Because like I had the time hacks cards.
Yeah.
And every time it was like, oh, they're going to be able to secure resources right now. Go over to where those are. There was always a huge firefight there.
Yeah. Yeah.
This first one, man, the first one right over there on the hill above African Village.
Yeah, that one was nuts.
God, that one was nuts.
Like 10 smoke grenades, EG-67s going in every direction.
Oh,
people not
crazy.
Realizing like where any of the shooting was. There was one dude with a saw just buzzing the entire tree line. Like, I hope I hit someone. It was cool.
I like objectives like that because there's some like purpose to it, you know? Like
and you don't even have to get it. Right, just deny the other team from getting it, and you've denied them cover. Later on in the game, the last frag of that game was to go to the enemy's base and destroy it, basically.
Yeah,
which didn't happen. And actually, as I was at the end of the game, like a week later, I was processing the game and just looking at what actually happened because I was thinking about building a larger narrative around it. It was 50-50.
I remember. We were at Haji camp. Our base, like we had a lot of pieces of bunker, so we had good cover to defend. But then the guys over at Vietnam, they
didn't build anything.
Well, they had the terrain. The terrain honestly kept them really safe.
Yeah,
they were hiding in the bushes. We couldn't really get around.
Yeah,
because I remember seeing that towards the end of the game. Like, oh, it had to be the last hour. It seemed like green team was non-existent, and it really boiled down to a lot of them probably walked off, went to the parking lot, were like hanging out. But even then, the green players that were left, there was like 40 dudes in African trying to push through Vietnam, and there was only like 10 green people that stopped them.
Yeah.
And it's like, because they had the terrain, and that time of the year, the vegetation was still in. Like, a full push from African into Vietnam, and like 10 players were able to stop that.
It's tough. Well, it's tough. Also, shout out to the TAN team, man. Their coordination was really good. Comms were really good. And they actually listened. Like our plan in the very beginning of the game, I was like, look, they're going to rush this objective. They're going to speed soft it in there. And I was like, look, we're going to set up in this perimeter just in the tree line, and we're going to hold. And we're going to let them waste resources, waste the fucking BBs, waste their grenades, waste their smokes. And we just held. and they kept trying to push across, and we'd murder a bunch of them. And I was like, look, we want to make these guys go back to the fucking parking lot. I want them to be dog shit tired. I want them to be back at their respawn bitching about how this op sucks and they can't get across this open ground. I was like, and when that happens, then we push forward. And we held for a long time. You know, you got to have that motivational speech, you know, in the beginning.
Follow Dave, win games.
Well, I don't know about win games because that was a straight up tie. That game was a straight up tie. And actually, this year I'm going to write it in that, like, yes, the government forces were able to set up a base, but they weren't able to push past that. And so I'm thinking, I'm going to see if I can't get more of those crates.
Oh, that shouldn't be hard.
Yeah. And I'm actually going to build up both bases. So that way at the start of the game, both teams have like a built up base.
You know, and then they can go secure more resources to further the building.
That or maybe a frago is that they have to set up an outpost.
Oh, that's cool.
Or a LPOP or you know, something like that. I don't know. I'm still working through that. But
while still on the dynamic of Crossroads, how did the camo restrictions go?
Oh man, it was so good.
Because I didn't know if that would cause any like EID issues. Like I saw a little bit of it from the media perspective.
I actually thought it went really well.
I didn't have any issues, but then again, I was on multicam, so I just had to look for not multicam, so it was a lot easier. It may have been more difficult on the other team, the rebel team or whatever you want to call it, because some camos are very similar. Like ATACs can look similar.
Yeah.
So maybe they were having a hard time, but I didn't. I don't know. Because I never had that issue.
For the context of the listener that may not know, Crossroads was multicam versus everything.
Standard multicam.
Yeah.
Head to toe. Like government issue, like nothing crazy.
Normal multicam / Scorpion / OCP. That is multicam.
Yeah.
That against everything else.
You could literally wear a banana suit on the other team. It didn't matter.
Yeah, we talked about that. You could technically show up in your underwear and spray paint camo on you, and you would have been fine.
As long as it wasn't multicam.
Yeah, as long as it was multicam.
Yeah. You could wear jorts.
You could wear jorts.
Yeah,
you could wear jorts. Have you thought about incorporating like CCPs into these ops?
I mean, that's basically just a mobile respawn, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all.
What's the benefit? What's the benefit of bringing your casualties to this location?
Yeah, I guess the field's not big enough to.
Well, no, because like there have been times past. Yeah. I think for Blood Diamond, you had mobile respawn. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that was like the.
We were supposed to have them for Crossroads, and I just forgot to put them out.
Yeah,
that was it. But it ran fine without it, to be honest with you.
Mobile respawns are nice because they're mobile. You can, if you guys are spawning top of the trail and you know the objective you're about to push is down in Newtown, go take the Connex box and put your mobile respawn there. That makes sense. It's just another term for something we've already done.
Yeah. CCPs, it's kind of the same thing because there's no benefit. There's no outward benefit.
Yeah. Have you thought of incorporating like the clay pigeon idea for the mobile respawn? That was used?
Yeah, for like the past 2 years that's been used.
Yeah, he flat out said he stole that from Gun Game.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I looked Eric in the face and I was like, I'm going to steal that from you. And he goes, go ahead.
I'm a bad airsofter. I never got to their mobile respawn.
You played the events.
I never got to their mobile respawn. Yeah. I just sat on the second story of mosque and looked around like commander, you know?
Anthony, thank you for your service.
You're welcome, brother. You know, they need to thank me.
Oh, geez.
But yeah, Crossroads this year. I liked Crossroads this year because it was different, right? Like there have been years in the past where we didn't run Blood Diamond because it was the same. It was stale. I felt like there was nothing new to it. And then we developed the mortar, and I was like, okay, that's good enough to like add some spice to the game. And then the base building in Crossroads was really fucking cool. I really dug that. It gave the players some agency too, to kind of be in charge of their own defense.
Yeah.
It wasn't just like, you guys got to defend this hill.
I have to say with Blood Diamond, I know your big thing with it was that you didn't want to keep running the same game, but it's like, if it's once a year, there's like Blood Diamond works so well.
It's a good game.
People want to play it again.
No, I get it.
People are like, I tried Civilian Team. Now I'm going to try one of the other factions.
Sure. To me,
it's a fun experience.
Yeah, but Anthony,
I've done it 12 times,
with your logic, Anthony, that means the same player could play it 3 times before they get the same experience.
Yeah, which is good. It's 3 years.
But we've been doing it for how long?
A long time.
Yeah.
I ran that game at the old field.
Yeah. So it's like players, even though every time Dave canceled it, players were up in arms going, no, we were okay with it. We liked it. We wanted it just how it was.
But we can't progress if we don't make changes. So.
I remember the one op at the old field where Rich Moore was
the president.
That
was an outside producer. They had a golf cart, remember?
Yeah, there was a golf cart with like an M240 on it.
Yeah.
It wasn't a Monty game, was it?
No.
I just remember
He liked to bring a golf cart.
Rich did such a good, like he was the president and he was basically, and he was running around with an MP7 while wearing a suit and like he had a really nice suit.
Like a nice suit, yeah.
Well, it's Rich Moore. All this stuff is.
And his mannerisms are so professional,
Oh my God.
Now he lives in.
He's like, let me be clear.
Yes,
I have to bleep that one in a minute.
Yeah.
Well, let me be clear.
No,
That's good.
I have to bleep that because of the connection. There. Yep. Just go on.
So after, what month are we in? We're in October. I feel like there were two things in October.
There was another night game. We did Night Vision Rentals for that. That was the one where Tom came out. We had that like 4-hour podcast outside.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, that was that. That was also stayed up late talking to gun gamers about game ideas.
That's right.
And then in early November, we had the next Tactical League event, which it just happened and I can't remember the name of that event. It was Tactical League. Well, that was late November. That was the week after I went to MSW.
I remember it was very close to Thanksgiving.
Yes, it was the week after Thanksgiving. Or a week before.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, either way, we had that Tactical League event, and it snowed the night before.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the furthering the progression of what I said earlier. Every time they come out, the player count goes up. But that's where my critique came in, and we talked to Mike about that afterwards. I don't know if we want to talk about that on the podcast.
No, that's between us. Yeah.
Yeah. It ran good for what it could have been. Yeah, as the player count goes up.
Well, he's getting to the point now where he needs staff.
That was what I was hitting at.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we talked to him about that afterwards.
Yeah.
He was supposed to have more staff, and then that dude bailed last minute.
Yeah.
For 200 players, it needs to be more than just him and the Zulu staff that is working for him that day.
Yeah.
Because Mike, and I told him this too, he's kind of like you. He's like a little bit of a control freak. So when I go, hey, Mike, what do you need me to do to help set up this game? He's just like, no, man, I got it. I got to run out. I got to move this box, this box, this box. I'm like, cool, but that's going to take like 20 minutes. Do you want me to move one of them? He's like, nope, just get all the players lined up and I'll give the game brief when I come down. I'm like, okay, that's fine. But then it's like, if you had a second hand, he could be doing the game brief while the guy's going out moving the boxes, and then everybody can go on the field and it'll run a little bit faster and it'll be a little more smooth.
I mean, 200 players, dude, you need 4.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, he had 2 refs. He had myself. And
I'm saying 4 on top of our staff. Right?
Yeah.
Like 4 people who understand the game and can move it forward, and then our guys just maintain safety and direct gameplay, right?
Yes.
Like we're just looking for the egregious shit.
Yeah. Overall, though, his game plans, I like the way he utilizes the skirmish system.
Yeah.
It is a good idea. I would, and this is more, we can cut this part out.
You can cut this part.
Yeah, well, you can tell me if this has to get cut out. Maybe for next year, before, because they're going to end up coming back most likely.
Sure.
Before he puts out his games that they're going to run, maybe run them by you to be like, hey,
he does. He sends them to me.
Idea.
He sends them to me.
Okay.
And maybe it's my fault for not looking at it with a more like critical eye. Because he's run so many games.
Yeah.
I kind of like breeze over it and just make sure that there's nothing
like ridiculous,
crazy, like 500 FPS for full auto SMGs, shit like that.
Yeah, I'm more talking like the way the game's laid out.
Sure.
So the one that comes to mind here, the last game of the last event they did here, it was basically Benghazi in CQB with 200 players.
It's a lot.
Like from a ref's perspective, where we run games here every weekend, I looked at that and was like, yo, this is a bad idea.
Yeah.
This is a really bad idea. And he's just like, no, it's going to be fine. It's going to run this way, this way. I'm like, I see how that runs, and that will work perfectly with 100 less players.
Yeah.
Like, if you're game planning for 200, I would have looked at that and went, dude, no, don't do that.
Well, that's the other thing, too, is I don't know the player count until
that's the problem.
Until the day of. But yeah, dude, I mean, he's a big boy, and I try not to, critique anybody too hard.
Yeah, that's why I was just like, I don't know if that's overstepping. I don't know if that's considered being a dick. Just from like, yes, you are an outside producer coming to a field, but you're also working with the staff that does run games here all the time. So we'll be able to give you a little bit more insight of like, hey, this is going to run smoothly, or like this could work if you just like move respawns here, and here.
Yeah.
Just so, because there were some player complaints after that game in CQB. And it's one of those like, that was the last game of the day. Like,
that's
went
rough.
Home.
Yeah,
like people going home being like, that sucked. I'm probably never going to do that again. So now they may have a bad taste in their mouth to Tactical League. So we might see the next time they do an event.
Yeah, they'll take a hit.
They'll take a hit.
Yeah.
And it's like, this could have been prevented if we adjusted accordingly throughout the day.
Or even played that game first.
Yeah, stuff like that.
CQB the last game of the day, I mean, as our rule, we never do it because, CQB hurts.
Yeah.
And
it was just one of those like players getting frustrated, shit going sideways. And it's like, okay, so like those dudes that walked off mad might not come back next time there's a Tactical League event.
For sure.
And that looks bad to them. We could have solved this by changing things around a little bit. That's just my 2 cents. Yeah.
I think that was the last event of the year too.
It was. After that, it's just been normal open play through the holiday season. Yeah. And now we're back to square one with the anniversary game coming up in a week and a half.
Yeah. I'll probably have the schedule out this week.
Yes. And then I will make the fun graphic that we do every year.
Yeah.
And pin it in the post. Because right now I got different posts pinned on the Instagram account. I think it's the...
I got to call Grimnir and bully them back into making games, man.
Let's do it.
Literally the best game I ever went to was a Grimnir game.
Maybe that's what we do, because we always talk about getting player engagement. Because like, fun fact, the more you comment on posts that we make, the better it does in the algorithm, so more people see it. So like, if you want to help us out, drop a comment down below. But maybe that's our player engagement.
DM Grimnir and say why.
Yeah,
come back.
Comment or DM on Grimnir Tactical's Instagram and YouTube, and ask them why, and tell them you want them back.
When?
And if you want, I'll drop the Grimnir Discord link in the YouTube comments, so you can go to the Grimnir Discord and continue to bully Max and Ian.
We're doing this. We're Operation Bully Grimnir.
Yeah, bring Grimnir back 2025.
Yeah. Make Airsoft great again. Friggin'. Oh, which is weird.
Yeah, that's why I skipped that and went to bring Grimnir back.
Oh,
that was in Milsom Westing for a while. They had Make NATO Great Again, and they had red hats that had it.
Poor NATO. Poor East Coast NATO.
That was like 2018 timeframe. NATO's pretty good right now.
You're famous.
Oh man,
we got to talk about this.
Do we want to talk about that?
We have to talk about
that.
We have to talk about the fact that
there is now a screenshot of my face associated to some drama in the Milsom West General.
Yeah, all we did was talk about a thing, and then somebody else made it a thing, and now it's a thing. And somehow
let that thing die.
they used.
I already hate my face enough.
I have opinions on it. I don't even think Milsom West is wrong, to be honest.
Wrong about what? The injuries? Is that what you're talking about?
No, I don't think their decision as to what to do about it, aside from social media, as far as how they run their games, I don't think their decision about it is wrong. Basically, the whole somebody getting shot with a tag and launchable.
So we were commenting on what a dick the player was.
Yeah, that player was not what.
And then it got taken. And then it got taken to like a higher level by somebody else.
Somebody. It wasn't even the Milsom West General Interest Group. It was US Milsom. It was a different page.
I thought it was. I've only received screenshots of it by like multiple people being like, you're associated to it. And I saw that Justin, who's a Milsom West cadre, commented on it, and Josh Warren also commented on it.
The one where Josh Warren commented on it, it was not in the General Interest Group. It was in US Airsoft Milsom or something. It was a different Facebook page. But one guy was commenting saying like, don't you think these should be banned because blah, 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 blah. And like, to me, it just sounds like airsoft gun control.
Yeah.
It's like, look, you can ban tag in launchables, it's like, but somebody is going to find some other way to be a dick. The point is that, you don't want to shoot somebody directly with the tag and launchable. That's why it's in the rules not to do it. The whole point of going to a Milsom West is for an experience, and what Milsom West does is it actually lets you do things you can't do at other airsoft games. So the understanding is that you have to be a responsible adult and not hold a fucking doorway with the 40 mil launchable.
Yes.
And that's all we were talking about.
And that's why they have blank fire. And that's why, they used to let people jump out of trucks,
I remember.
Used to, right? The whole point is like, if you're going to go to an event like that, it's not meant for people that just want everything to be catered and everything to be accounted for so that they can't get hurt. Like, you're responsible for your own safety, and these are a bunch of grown men that have, the responsibility for their own safety that are having fun.
The problem is that
you don't ban it.
No.
I don't want to.
I'm not saying you guys are.
I don't think anybody's saying that.
It's the guy's that guy's comment.
Well, he's dumb.
And what he cited.
What the community should be doing right now is flaming the fucking who held the fucking door with a 203 and almost ruined a good fucking thing.
Don't ban the grenade launcher. Ban the player that broke the rules.
Yeah, exactly. That player's a fucking moron. And he should never play a fucking another game of Airsoft again, in my opinion.
We can have so much cool shit, but dumb people make it hard for us to have that.
Yeah.
Because now, there's that kid that completely took this out of context and was like, these should be banned. No, absolutely not. Tags are fucking cool. We'd be using them here if we could.
They add a lot to the game.
They are awesome.
Yeah, especially that fucking mortar.
Yeah, the mortar's cool. Yeah. We have tag launchers.
Yeah.
Like, I have tag M203 shells under my desk. Like, they're dope.
Yeah, they're cool.
But the dude that did that, that's pretty fucked up. Don't do that. Don't hold the doorway with an M203. It says it in the tax op. Like, these are meant to be arced in. And we have videos of us doing that to people too. Like, Guardian Center, we came out of the subway. There was 20 Rust 4 dudes stacked up on a building. What did Sean do? He shot it so it hit the wall right above their head. That's totally fine by the rules of the land. Shooting someone point blank in the face, that's fucked.
Look, even if you use the different tag and shells, there's the green gas, the propane.
No, use the CO2 one or the HPA one.
Right,
better.
but depending on how much pressure's in it, it could affect the trajectory, and you might be aiming for the wall, and it might arc down and hit somebody.
Cool.
It's still part of the game.
I've been hit by a tag.
It's like, that's what you're signing up for. You understand that. You're playing a game where you can get shot in your sleeping bag. Like, they expect everybody to put their iPro on and leave it on when they sleep.
Yeah.
So like, that's what you're playing.
Yeah, but there's also an expectation too of safety.
Right.
Like,
now,
there is an expectation.
If you just have like Oakleys on in your sleep, you don't want to just get like fucking lit up full auto in your mouth area.
Sleep with your face to the ground.
Therefore, when you see somebody in a sleeping bag, you're not going to do that to them.
Correct.
There's like a general courtesy,
Yeah.
But and this guy broke that courtesy, right?
Yeah.
Same, but different. He fucking held the door with a 203.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. This guy should be shunned into the fucking ground.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
and he was. So, like, for context, when that post was like the screenshot that I used, that was a post in the general interest group, like 12 hours after the game. Like, Tom, Logan, Dave, and I were all in the truck looking at it, reading it, like, this is fucked. There was like 120 some odd comments on this, and it was all dudes going, that guy's an asshole. Fuck that guy. Who was that? Yeah. We need to like take care of him. That's the Milsom West community coming out and correcting their own. Yeah. Now that post randomly disappeared, and I will tell you that all of the admins of the general interest group are Milsom West staff. So either the player removed it or Milsom West staff removed it. It doesn't fucking matter. The post was removed. But all of the comments were the community self-correcting. That's fine.
Yeah,
like
but Josh Warren's comments on the other one in the other Facebook group was basically like, oh, you're just going to believe everything you heard on a podcast, almost implying, oh, like you think that this actually happened, period, because you heard somebody say it on a podcast, even though there was screenshots of the post and then it got taken down. So to me, that's like, Josh, you could be so right on this. You'd be so right if you said like, yeah, it did happen. It was against the rules. That player's banned.
Yes, that would have been it, and that would have been because that would have been the nail.
Because we're the only Milsom.
But then
right?
look at it.
Like,
look long game. Here we are talking about it again, which is drumming it up again, which is pushing more people in the direction of what actually happened. So it's furthering the progression of this.
Yeah, but our conversation would have been much shorter if that was the response that they gave.
Correct.
I don't care if I don't care. Right.
I just think that's about clicks and views.
Sure.
And attention.
I think that the guy's a dick who shot the other kid in the face with a fucking 203.
100%.
And that's where we stood, and that's what we made. That was the point we were making.
Tag-ins don't hurt people. Airsofters hurt people.
Okay. So
Milsom.
I don't know. But now your face is
now my face
associated with that.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Like going to reach out to Josh again and be like, hey, do you want to come on the Zulu podcast? Yeah. And now we have this. Yeah.
He's like, oh wait, you're those assholes? Yeah, no.
Yeah. Cause I talked to him in May in PA, and I was just like, hey Josh, we have this podcast. Do you want to come on? And he's like, yeah, absolutely. gave me his phone or his cell phone number, and he's like, we'll set up a time. He thought it was going to be video, and I was like, no, like we want to bring you out to New York and have you come sit down on the podcast. He's like, oh, well, that's like not going to happen right now with my schedule. So like right as I was about to reach out to him and be like, hey, it's about to be the slow season for Milsom West. They have Milsom West Raid coming up this weekend. That's a 24-hour game. But after that, like they don't have another event for like 2 or 3 months. So we're going to do it. Now's the time. And I'm just like, fuck.
You should have still reached out.
Yeah.
I'm probably still going to.
Yeah. No, you should.
Yeah.
You are going to. You should reach out. We should.
Yeah, because like that'd be dope. Have Josh come out, sit down. He doesn't even have to play Airsoft. We just talk for like 2-3 hours about BB Wars, the community as a whole. You could ask him your questions straight up about this.
Yeah.
Who knows? He might not want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Suck, I guess.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, I mean, like the guy kind of, they should be banned. They should be like, go play Lion Claw. Like,
well, there was another event we went to, and at the AAR, this was at Panthera a long time ago. I think we were like super high speed militia or some shit.
Oh, the first one.
Yeah, and at the AAR, I just remember some guy was just like, can people shooting 203s not shoot so close to other people because. And Josh one was like, "What? How do you want me to enforce that?
Yeah,
like what do you want me to do? Like, no, I can't enforce that. Like, just
because like North Carolina Connor that game took a tag round. He was dead on the ground in the doorway of a building. Tag. I don't remember if it was a 203 or a tag grenade. Either way, hit the back of his airframe, went off, and it flashed through the vent of the airframe. And it singed off his eyebrows, and it singed the top of his Oakleys. I have to see if I still have the photo of his Oaks. But he looks at me afterwards. He's like, "Oh, my wife is gonna kill me. That burned my eyebrows off." And it wasn't like entirely. The bottom was still there, but it like burnt the top.
Oh, God.
And I'm just laughing, going, "Yeah, tags are violent. That's pretty funny." It's in a Desert Fox video, so like
that's funny.
Jet was in our platoon for that, if you remember. And we didn't see him again until Sunday morning, but he has the footage. He was also dead on that stairwell with us. And you just see the grenade, like he was looking this way, grenade comes over here, he turns, and you just see Connor's head explode. And it's just like, oh God. He's like, are you okay, man? He's like, my ears are ringing. And he like takes off his helmet. He's like, I think my eyebrows are gone.
Oh man.
But yeah, that's I mean, where Josh is right is, don't just believe everything you hear on a podcast.
Correct.
But like, that doesn't mean it's valueless. Like, listen to it. There's screens. Like, it did happen. It happened.
My question is, why did the original post get deleted?
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's why I'd be hard pressed to believe the player that it happened to, because he was the one that made the post. I don't think he would take it down. There was no like bullying in the comments. Like no one was telling him like, oh, fuck you, man. Like,
I mean, we don't know though.
Like, oh, well, I read.
He could have just taken it down because he's like, I'm done with this.
Yeah. You're right. We never really know the true answer, and I don't care to reach out to him to find out.
Poor guy. Speedy recovery, fella.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now a word from our sponsors. We put it out there, and these are player-submitted ads. Player-submitted ad reads, because nobody will sponsor this podcast.
To be fair, we haven't really tried.
There we go. After a late night of playing Arma, every Airsofter loves their energy drinks. It helps boost your energy to mag dump those pesky rentals right in the morning. But the big problem with them is their sugar content. It rots your teeth and causes cavities and tooth pain. If you're like me and you spend all your money on Polar Star Jacks and dye masks, you likely don't have the money for a dentist. Well, you're in luck. Here at Tom's Negligent Dentistry, we provide top quality dental care at affordable cost. Head on down to your local CQB and get your teeth taken care of by our top dental practitioner. All right.
That's pretty clever.
It's all right. I see where he was going. Yeah. He was going for the get your teeth shot out in CQB.
And it's a joke because Tom actually shot someone's tooth out in CQB.
There you go, right? He's a dentist now. I feel like it could have been... We can do better. We can do better as a community. We can do better. I mean, we just talked about the pornography, or have we talked about that yet?
We have not talked about that yet.
That'd be a funny ad read.
That would be a funny ad read.
Pretty bad,
right?
Yeah.
All right, back to you guys. All right, we're back. Please excuse my swishing. I put on this jacket because I'm freezing in here.
Oh my God. You had your chat GPT arguments about my audio. Like that doesn't make my life easier, man.
My laptop died. I can't.
Now Anthony is without a brain.
Yes.
Yeah, he doesn't have the open source AI.
For real, bussin'. Skibbity toilet.
All right, player grievances, go.
Player grievances. So the one thing I heard, number one, the mosque roofs.
Yep.
When will the mosque roofs be fixed? And will there be new structures?
Oof.
Oh, can we talk about that idea?
So 2025, I mean, new structures will come. Mosque roofs, I want to get done this winter. Well, it's kind of slow.
So like,
and to be clear, it's just the two, the north and the south. It's not the main mosque. Main mosque has been fixed for like 2 years now. It's just the north and the south ones. It's just, dude, it's fucking expensive, man. It's fucking expensive.
Yeah.
Everybody during COVID decided to build a deck at their house, and it shot deck prices like way through the fucking roof. And then when we first built the mosque, we just didn't have the money to do pressure treated up there. And now it's biting us in the ass.
Yeah.
So,
and when you first did the mosque, that was years ago.
that was 2016
yeah, 16 or 17.
because we finished it for the first Benghazi game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, honestly, I feel like the games play better without those rooftops, but
No, I think they do.
that's just me.
I think they play better with them because the other thing too, we didn't do it a lot this summer because we tried it once and it didn't run well with the other two rooftops out of play. We like to run when all the foliage is in, 3 Flag Mosque sideways.
Yeah,
So, like
yeah.
one team spawning down at CQB and the other team spawning it over under, because when all the foliage is in and the vegetation is there, you actually have cover moving up from either of those ways. Right now, with all the vegetation dead, that's a terrible idea. We're not going to do it.
3 Flag Mosque would play well now with those new buildings that are in the mosque compound.
I mean, yeah, but that's no different than playing Battle for Mosque. Like, we see how that plays out. It's going to do fine. But also, like, for context, the original plan was to put more than just one building on each side of
Yeah, there's 4 more
on each side. Or
on the opposite side. So there'd be like a road,
yeah, that's what I thought.
and then there's 4 more buildings on that left side.
Yeah, because I remember when you and I first talked about it, like, your original plan was you would have the Western City and then like the Middle East era town up top, where it'd be more like a village with a main street you could travel down.
It's still there. It's just, baby steps. Everything goes in baby steps.
Yeah, material's expensive.
Yeah.
No, not only that, but it's finding the right person to do the job.
Yeah.
I mean, you're still looking at, maybe 15, 20 grand, It's a lot of money.
Yeah. Players think that we're absolutely rolling in cash.
Yeah, I wish, dude. I wish the players were right.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? I wish they were right.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that everything boils down to money. It just does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, I don't live in a mansion by any means. So it's not like I'm hoarding all the fucking money.
No. Running a business is expensive.
Yeah. You actually sleep here most nights.
No, that's not true. My heat is broken in my house, though. It's fantastic.
Is it really?
We have two sources of heat, and so we're using the other source right now. I got to get that fixed.
Because you had that, like, I remember you explaining, that might have been your air conditioning where you're like, it's like this tubing that you run through the entire house.
So I have a ductless system, but it's also a heat pump.
Oh, interesting.
So it's basically running the AC in reverse, and that's heating my house right now.
Yeah.
That should show you how small my house is. The fact that I can heat my house.
I know how small your house is.
Some fields are pretty clever with how they maximize making profit with their space. Like Miami Airsoft, they do non-airsoft things there too.
Yeah.
They'll rent the field out to like movie producers that want to.
I'd do that in a second. Are you kidding me?
Bad publicity is still publicity.
No, it shouldn't even be bad. I mean, who's making fun of a guy? Okay, so we got to talk about it now.
This is Anthony's fault because I wanted to circle around to something else, but go on.
Whatever. Here we go. So Miami Airsoft.
Hearing about it was nuts. The comments on it were nuts.
Miami Airsoft filmed a porno.
It was a lot.
Or, I'm sorry, had a porno company come in and film a porno.
I think Dave just wants to keep saying it.
Porno?
Yeah.
No, I think it's hilarious, right? And they filmed a porno. a pornography, if you will.
Pornea.
Yeah. or corn as the
Yeah, I think
internet.
we'll stick with corn.
Corn. During a day where there was no airsoft, nobody else was there. It was a closed set. And
Jet Desert Fox did a reaction video to it.
Yeah, who cares? Man, that dude is trying to generate a little extra income for his freaking airsoft field or paintball field or whatever.
This is Miami, Florida, too.
Well, of course, yeah. So for any state, I mean, we should literally have read that headline and been like, oh, okay, and then moved on. But the airsoft community, for some reason, is like, oh, no corn on my beloved field. You're like, come on, guy's just trying to make a little extra cash. I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, I bet he is working moss grooves.
I bet he does. I bet he does now.
It's an indoor field. He doesn't have to worry about the rain destroying it.
Was it indoor? It's an indoor.
Yeah,
place?
Miami Airsoft's indoor.
Jesus Christ! So it's even indoor as well.
Yeah.
So he could have locked the doors and everything. So all these people are just like, well, what about this and that?
The funniest comment I read was, oh, man, you mean I got to play on a nutted on field now?
Yeah, I think it was like, wow.
All right, that one's valid.
It is pretty gross. Like, it is an indoor field.
That one's valid. But you think they don't clean up and everything?
Do you think they are cleaning up?
I don't know. I would hope so.
You think they clean up after open play?
In the world I live in, they clean up.
Pretty
you know
gross.
what? Admission there is $35.
Good for them.
Yeah. Saturday and Sunday, weekends all day, admission is $35. Apparently, they do 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. Monday through Friday, and it's $20 for admission.
That's a hell of a deal.
That's a hell of a deal.
What's the deal?
What's your player count like on a Tuesday night in Miami?
Probably pretty good.
Yeah.
What's the population of Miami?
Oh.
Yeah.
Miami
right?
population. My only gripe with this whole 455,000 in Miami proper, not including this.
Yeah, not including Fort Lauderdale and fucking.
Yeah. My only gripe with this was like, I went and searched it out because I was like, surely this is ridiculous. Like, this could not exist. No, it exists. Whatever, you do you. If you're into it, you're into it. Like Rule 34 or whatever. But from a safety perspective, what bothered me was that no one was wearing iPro and you could hear the BBs bouncing off the walls.
Yeah, but it's a closed set.
I know, but the room for
Close
error
set.
there, margin for errors, man.
Sure.
Yeah, like that.
That's also on the production company. That's because
somebody could have lost an eye.
Alec Baldwin.
And you think that the BBs are the only thing that could put an eye out?
I
Come
know.
on.
I'm just saying because like my autistic brain went right to the safety aspect and was just like,
God.
oh my.
You're the guy in the comments.
Yeah, I didn't comment shit. No, I don't fight on.
Shut up and let that man do his thing. Because you know what happened? They went up to Miami Airsoft and they're like, hey, we want to rent out this to film a little pornography and we're going to pay you $10,000. And he was like, yep, here's the keys. I'll see you in fucking 3 hours or however long it takes. It definitely doesn't take that long to film a porno.
I have no idea.
It definitely doesn't take that long. Their acting is terrible. You know.
What, you don't watch it for the story?
Boy, I tried one time. Nope, we're not going to go down this rabbit hole. there was a pornography that they filmed, and I think it was a budget. Their budget was like over $1 million. It was like the most. It was like pirate themed or some shit.
I know what one you're talking about.
Yeah, see,
it's the biggest meme. I know what one you're talking about.
It was so bad. It was so bad, but so good.
It was like Pirates of the Caribbean theme.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I know exactly.
They spent so much.
Jordan and I had ideas for like finding other ways to use the field like during the week.
I think we found one.
Well, when we started doing the USPSA stuff, we were like, what if we try to set up like USPSA courses, but for airsoft, and let people show up with their airsoft pistols and do USPSA stuff? And like we set it up and we run it the same way that.
Yeah, we also talked about doing it in between during the lunch break. And Dave and I went down this rabbit hole because Tyler had the idea. He's like, yeah, we get all, because Evike sells all the USPSA targets, but like a third of the weight because it's meant to be knocked over by airsoft guns. So like the IPSC stuff too. And Tyler's like, yeah, I want to set it up so in between lunch, you can like come down on the field. It would be like potluck, like right in front of the shop, like $5 buy-in per round, and you get to run as much as you want. I was like, yeah, run it by Dave. And it's a smart idea. It's a lot of setup for probably a diminishing reward.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to run it, right? So, are you as a player going to pay $15, right? Because 10 would go to the guy who's running it, and then 5 goes into the pot to potentially maybe win back $40 or whatever it is.
Yeah. What if only 2 people want to partake in it and you just set it up? So like, cool, you just paid $30 to buy in.
To win 10,
Yeah, to win 10.
Fucking,
Well, I think it's fun. Like the guys that do it, the USPSA stuff, like why do they run it? Why do they spend their Thursdays doing it?
Oh, because they do it during the weeknights to warm up for on Saturday and Sunday when they travel to full like 12 or 15 stage matches. So like we as autistic children play Airsoft. They go do that every Saturday and Sunday. Like we talked about one time, West Point has one of the biggest 2-gun matches of the year. You can look up on Practice Score every USPSA match in your area within like 200, 300, 400 miles. So whereas we show up Saturday and Sunday and play Airsoft, they travel to like Black Rock or
I missed the opportunity
or stuff like that to go do a USPSA match.
I missed the opportunity to participate in the West Point 2-gun match this year.
So did I.
Yeah.
I was at the MSW game. I really wanted to go. That seems like fun. I will keep it on my radar for this year because I want to try and do it. It sounds like a good time. I'm hardcore into the USPSA stuff. It's super fun.
You remember Canseb?
Yeah.
Canseb on YouTube, the French guy? And all of his videos were like, he had that one background.
Yeah,
he was
just like the blue watercolor background.
Just shooting
and shoot airsoft.
a bunch of different airsoft guns. Following his channel years ago, like that type of competition shooting for airsoft is really popular in like Europe and in Taiwan.
Yeah, because they have indoor facilities to do it, but it's also those are areas where real guns are not as accessible, so they can't go do that. Because to me, now I'm like, why would I want to do that with airsoft when I can go spend $15 and do it on a Tuesday night for like 2 hours and go home?
Well, if you don't have your pistol permit yet,
you're right.
You live in New York or New Jersey, and you want to,
you're right.
You want to do that. I mean, to me, it's just fun.
So
it would be cool. It would be cool to try it.
When Tyler and I used to work at HVA, we had that set up, and it worked really well. The problem is because it was an indoor facility, we could leave it set up. And then we didn't have to pack it down into bins and store it somewhere and then worry about showing up an hour early to set everything up because there was a room. And at the time, Mitch, the owner of HVA, was like, whatever, leave it set up. You guys can do it. And he was setting up some intricate IPSC stuff and running it with like $1,000 airsoft surgeon high cap. It was cool. It was a lot of fun because we could set it up and leave it up. It's so much investment in not only money, but time to set this up and then to hype it up and then to build it up to have like maybe 10 people show up and you're not making your return on that. And maybe you could build a following, but how long is that going to take? Is it worth your time to do that?
Not only that, though, because I wouldn't be involved, right? Because it's just not my passion, especially with airsoft guns. To me, it's like, I'd rather do it with real ones. But so whoever is doing this, obviously you're using my property to make money, right? So in which case, I'm going to charge you something. Yeah. That's just adding more. So it's going to eventually get to a point where it's like, okay, it's $20 to go down there during lunch and try to compete, to maybe win 100,
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's a good.
I don't think it would be worth it. You would, out of all the crazy ideas we come up with, that's really low on the list of ideas. That's like, hey, we should put some time into this one. Like this one has merit. It'd be better off investing the time and effort now into like the summer camp idea or the hayride idea.
Can't call it that.
Can't call it that, but like,
can't call it that.
Stuff like that.
The summer program.
Yeah, the Airsoft summer program for kids.
Evic did something like that years ago.
They did. And we've seen other places do it. So when it's like, hey, what are the ideas that we're throwing at a wall hoping something sticks? That one's really low. Like it may have stuck for a second and then fell on the ground. There's so many other ones where it's like we would be better off spending your resources on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the summer program thing, I don't even know if we can call it that. That's a good idea.
The summertime weekday program.
I don't know what to call it. The under 18 airsoft experience. I don't know.
The airsoft training experience.
If there's a good time of the year to do stuff at the field during the week, it would be during that summer break time.
Just do it for 2 weeks. 2 weeks will be the cheapest daycare in town. And
PT starts at 5 a.m.
No. Get over here. You ever been at a Milton West Chalet getting shot at? Get your face in the dirt.
How many people here had a buddy aid their buddy and didn't have a tourniquet?
Yeah.
Well, tourniquets are pay to win.
Exactly. This is real BB Wars.
Yeah, because there's that one, the hayride idea, because we talk about that every year.
Yeah.
The hayride? What's that?
Oh, yeah. I don't know if I want to talk about it.
Yeah,
it's a good idea.
Talk about that off air.
Yeah.
You weren't privy to that. I forgot. You went home.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the staying up way too late talking to gun gamers conversation.
Yeah.
No, I mean, do we want to talk about ridiculous, crazy field ideas? Because we could bring up the one that Dylan, Alex, and I threw around for CQB.
I don't want to give out false hopes, man, because
Yeah.
you guys are talking about putting second stories and
Yeah.
There was one structure that you had talked about years ago, like the cartel mansion.
Oh,
mansion.
Hacienda.
Yeah, the hacienda.
Yeah, the Hacienda mansion. There's like a water feature.
I drew it up. I still have the plans for it.
That'd
I
be
remember
pretty
sitting
cool.
in Dunkin' Donuts and you showing us that.
I still have it.
There'd have to be like 2 stairs on the side and like a catwalk, right?
Yeah.
Where somebody can be up top and be like, say hello to my little friend, you know, like you entered my mansion, you know.
It would go right at the top of the hill, basically right above Embassy. That was the proposed area for
Well, we kind of dug trenches there.
it. Oh, that wouldn't matter. But I think I want to build more stuff that's more playable, right? Like,
What if you made like a pentagon,
I think I built one of those at the old field.
like the embassy, but like you actually made a structure? It was like 1 story. It was pretty big. It was a little bit mazy, but it was the shape of a pentagon. That would be interesting because it's not just 4 faces of wall that you have to
Yeah.
predictably maneuver around.
Why don't we make it an octagon?
You can make it an octagon.
Let's make it a Septagon.
Make it a rhombus.
Make it a Decepticon.
Make it a Decepticon.
Interesting idea.
Interesting idea, guys. I think we're going to wrap it up here.
Yeah.
We're kind of stammering on.
What do you guys want to see for the field?
Actually, yes, that's the player engagement.
What
for this
for
episode.
2025? What do you want to see for Zulu? And what do you want to see on the Zulu podcast? Do we have more player submitted ads?
Oh,
We do.
damn.
Okay, well, no. Hold on. This is a valid point. I have the other one. It's in my email. I can pass it off to Dave for him to read.
Yeah.
We will reset and let him read it because we did take a break.
Yep.
So it'll get thrown in directly in the middle of that break.
Perfect. With that, good night. God bless. We're out.
Bye.